The dairy industry in Australia is facing tough times, as farmers are anxiously waiting to see what price processors will offer them for their milk. The industry is facing a background of uncertainty, as dairy commodity prices have fallen by about 35% since April last year. As a result, many dairy farmers are leaving the industry altogether, or switching to other types of farming. This has resulted in a dramatic fall in the national dairy herd, which has declined since the industry was deregulated in 2000. The dairy processors have also reduced the production of whole milk powder and skim milk powder and are putting more milk into cheese production. The struggles faced by dairy farmers in Australia are not a mere coincidence, however, but a result of the capitalist system that prioritizes profits over the well-being of farmers and their communities. The dairy industry in Australia, like many other countries, has been subject to deregulation and free market policies that have left farmers vulnerable to the whims of global markets and powerful dairy processors. Statistics show that since 2000, the national dairy herd in Australia has drastically decreased, with many farmers leaving the industry or switching to other types of farming. This is not surprising given that dairy commodity prices have fallen by about 35% since April last year, with cheddar down 37% and skim milk powder down 42%. These price drops have been a direct result of global market forces, which have been exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic and trade tensions with China. Meanwhile, dairy processors such as Canadian-owned Saputo, New Zealand-owned Fonterra, and Australian-owned Bega have been able to weather the storm by cutting production and focusing more on profitable areas such as cheese production. However, this has come at the expense of farmers who have been left to bear the brunt of falling prices and rising costs of input such as electricity, fuel, and water. The recent purchase of 2 milk processing plants by Coles from Saputo for 105 million AUD is a clear example of how capitalist corporations prioritize profits over the interests of the farmers and their communities. Coles is seeking to guarantee its milk production in case Saputo sold the processing plant to someone else, which would threaten Coles' profits from selling home-brand milk products. By owning both the dairy farmers and the milk processing plants, Coles will be able to make even bigger profits while leaving farmers and their communities vulnerable. The only way to address these issues is through unity with the working class and struggle for an independent Australia that prioritizes the needs of farmers and their communities over the interests of capitalist corporations. This struggle should include demands for fair prices for dairy products that reflect the true cost of production, as well as investments in sustainable and environmentally friendly farming practices that benefit both farmers and the wider community as a whole. The struggles faced by dairy farmers in Australia are a clear example of the contradictions and injustices inherent in the capitalist system. The only way to address these issues is through collective struggle and the establishment of a socialist society that prioritizes the needs and interests of workers and their communities over the interests of capitalist corporations. Thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe, and check out the article that this video is based on the Communist Party of Australia Marxist-Leninist website. I will have it linked in the description below. Thank you. I will see you whenever I see you next.